This is the HotelPlanner Tour, a pathway to glory for tomorrow's stars, where the very brightest prospects in golf compete on the road to Mallorca. It's a season-long points race played out on a global stage. Finish in the top 15 and secure your place amongst the game's elite by gaining promotion to the DP World Tour. This is where memories are made, dreams are realised and futures secured. This is the HotelPlanner Tour. Welcome back to the HotelPlanner Tour, where so far in 2026, we've crowned 10 different champions. For 7 of those, it's marked an emotional maiden tour title. The most recent, Filip Ruzek, claimed the Tibetan Open to become only the second Czech winner on tour.
And Ruzek converted his short par putt to seal a one-shot victory thanks to a final round of 65.
And after 11 events on the road to Mallorca, the leading positions remained unchanged, with Maruzek's one-shot victory making him the biggest mover, sat in 8th. Louis Albertza and Julian Perico also made gains, with Dion Hermeshes holding that all-important 15th and final promotion spot. And for its first visit since 2023, the HotelPlanner Tour returned to English soil as Worcestershire's the Vale Golf Club welcomed the 172-man field for the stirring of a sleeping giant. For over half a century, National Opens, rooted in tradition, have been the cornerstone of the DP World and HotelPlanner Tour schedules. The English Open's return to the calendar reflects that heritage.
It's been a long time coming, and we're really excited to see the English Open back on the schedule of the HotelPlanner Tour. It's been over 20 years now, 25 years nearly, since it was last played on our schedules.
We're a nation that not only likes to compete in great events, but we love to host them. And for us to be able to put on the English Open is just, it's a moment in time. It's our first step into the professional ranks of holding an event, and we couldn't be more proud of being the main title sponsor of the English Open.
Looking to kickstart his campaign here was Tom Lewis, 81st on the rankings, and the Englishman would be hoping a return to home soil would provide the perfect tonic as he bids to compete with the game's best.
I happened to come here during our period of time off, and I played the practice round, which was useful to do because now I know what to expect. And I think those little details that people don't see is what top players do. And I'm looking forward to this week. I've heard the course is in great condition, so as long as I can go out there and enjoy myself, and I'll have some support from my own family and friends, and if I can give myself a chance, that's all I really ask for. You see so many great golfers that have been on this tour: Brooks Koepka, Aaron Rai, major winners, and it doesn't take very long to go from the level that I'm at now, or the stage in my career that I'm at, to competing at in those majors and winning tournaments. It's important that I just keep going right now, because I think at this stage it's very easy at 35 to say, oh, I maybe missed my chance. I had my chance and I didn't take it. But I know that when I'm playing my best, I can compete with anyone.
That's something the 35-year-old has certainly proved after bursting onto the scene in dramatic style in 2011. Since then, a golfing journey that spanned both sides of the Atlantic has given Lewis plenty of pause for thought concerning his career pathway.
I had a really good year in 2011. From the summer onwards, I think I actually struggled early in that season, and qualified for the Open, led the Open, played Walker Cup, and I was 3rd in the world, I think, at that time, or 4th in the world, and it made sense to turn pro, and it showed that it was the right decision to do, as I went on to win pretty much instantly. From 2011 to 2018, I remember just kind of being around 100th in the order of merit, sort of scrapping for my card, keeping my card year on, year out, but not really enjoying it. I got to a stage where I really needed to make some changes and decided to go to America and work with my coach David Armitage, and that just freshened things up. And I came out in 2018 and just started playing great without really doing a lot different, and went on and won in Portugal again. And then obviously from there I've struggled when I've come back. So it shows how fine line it is between feeling terrible and how then you can go on and win. So you always feel a lot further away than you really are. I'm still at a young age for golf, so there's still probably 15 years in me to win a few majors, but you know, let's see. I'd love to win another event to start, but you know, as much as golfers go through ups and downs, it's important to keep the belief somewhere in there that some big things can happen.
And Tom's opening round couldn't have got off to a better start in Worcestershire. Beginning at the par 5 10th, a lovely approach set up an eagle chance, which he duly snapped up. Early momentum and fortune, a valuable combination.
I think I got lucky. The chip I hit really well, and then obviously it hit the flag pretty firm. So I would have taken 3 when I saw the lie there. 16 the par 5 there, and I had a 7-iron in from I think 205 yards is where I wanted to land it. Landed at the front of that green there and just rolled into the middle. So it was really nice. Not a difficult putt, not a putt that I was probably going to hole, but nice to get in there and have another birdie.
3 under par as he made the turn. 2 drop shots in his next 4 holes tested Lewis's newfound resolve.
Started that front 9 with two or three bad drives, and it was important for me for momentum after the dropping my first drop shot on the first to go and hold that, which I was pleased to see that go in. 7, I hit a nice little mini driver down there. I pulled it slightly, and it fed back into the fairway, which is key on that hole because it's not a long hole, but playing from the rough there would have been made that front pin really difficult to get to. So another really nice wedge shot from probably 100 yards, and giving myself a chance from maybe 15 feet. I knew it was a putt that was pretty straightforward, but it was important for me to make a nice stroke, and hopefully it would have gone in. And it just shows how close the momentum is in golf to being good and then obviously playing well.
That birdie at the 7th would be his last of the round, as a par on his final hole saw the Englishman finish at 3 under par and satisfied with his day's work.
Maybe I just got, you know, the right lines from the tees, and the greens were rolling great this morning, so I look forward to playing tomorrow afternoon. I don't know if it will be any different on the greens, whether the grass will grow and maybe they'll snake a little bit more, but overall I'm really pleased with 69.
That opening round saw Tom finish day 1 in a tie for 22nd. A truly international contingent shared a 6-way tie at 5 under par, with George Blaw shouldering home hopes at this stage, 1 shot clear of Scott Graham Robertson. Bright and breezy conditions greeted the players on day 2, with temperatures set to rise further over the weekend. In the commentary hot seat, Josh Antman.
Will NFL won his second tournament of the season. That came in Cape Town in South Africa, and he was right up there in contention early on day 2. Lovely approach into the par 4 7th, pin high. About 10 feet left for birdie, which he'd convert, get to 7 under par, and at that point was in a tie for second, 2 behind Catlin. John Catlin, a 3-time DP World Tour winner. That last win came in Austria in 2021. This was for eagle at the par 5 8th. Nicely judged. And the American, quite a few watching on Friday. Be a tapping birdie for Catlin. He was 2 groups behind Ennefer, who finished with a bogey and posted 7 under par. Catlin, at this point, had a 3-shot lead. 70 on day 1 for Christopher Blomstrand, and he came back with a 68 on Friday. That was for birdie at his final hole, and would see him sit 4 shots off the lead. A good 2 days' work for the Swede. Catlin found the greenside bunker at the 9th, his final hole, started on 10. Lovely touch from the American. He'd make par to sign for a 66. No top 10s on the year for Matisse Bessard, but he was playing well at the Vale Golf Club. Superb touch there at 8. He tapped in for birdie and was now solo third at 8 under par. George Bloor, a superb 65 on day one. He's going well again on Friday. That was for eagle, but a tap-in birdie and in a tie for the lead on 10 under par alongside John Catlin. Our feature player this week, Tom Lewis, he would finish his day with a par on 18. Solid 2 days' work for the man from Welwyn Garden City. All smiles for Tom heading into the weekend. George Bloor was in trouble off the tee on his final hole. Could only chop it out to here. And then how about that for a pitch from Bloor, going through 2 different kinds of rough to give himself a chance of saving par late in the day. So about 10 feet left for par for Bloor on his final hole. And it was nowhere else. What an up and down. And he finishes the day as the joint 36-hole leader alongside Catlin.
Tom Lewis's round of 71 saw him edge up to a share of 18th place. Besar and Enifer ended the day in 3rd and 4th respectively. But tied at the top, George Bloor, and following his joint best of the day, a cautiously optimistic John Catlin.
I've been struggling a bit with the ball striking, and the ball striking was very solid the first 2 rounds. And gave me a lot of opportunities and was able to hold some putts, which is always nice. You know, that's what we're looking for. It's the combo that puts good scores together. So, going to continue to do that.
Ian Woosnam, Colin Montgomery, Lee Westwood, Darren Clark. Just a few of European golf's biggest names already woven into the fabric of English Open history. And looking to join that illustrious list at the halfway stage at the Vale Golf Club, Frank Kennedy and Cape Town winner Will Enifer were among those leading the home charge, with co-leader George Bloor alongside John Catlin at the summit. And as the final group got underway on Saturday, Moving Day was already living up to its name.
Tall German Yannick De Bruyne was making a bit of a Saturday charge. This for birdie on 13. Now tied for the lead alongside Bloor on 10 under par. De Bruyne was out way before the leaders. Another German going well was Dominic Fuss. Plays his golf predominantly on the Asian tour. His second birdie of the day came at the 6th, and he would card a 69 in round 3. John Catlin, one of the overnight leaders, was level par for the day, coming to the 8th. But this gorgeous touch for his 3rd on the par 5 led to a birdie, and he'd be 1 under for his round. Kristian Krogh Johannessen won on the HotelPlanner Tour back in 2022 at the Italian Challenge, but he was well in the mix at the Vale Golf Club. He would birdie there to get to 10 under par and just 2 back. It was a slow day for the other overnight leader, George Bloor. His second birdie of the day came here at 10, although it was almost an eagle after this beautifully judged putt across the green. With a back 9 of 38 saw him fall down the leaderboard into 12th and 5 off the pace. His playing partner, Catlin, was on a bit of a charge. This was for birdie at 10. Just getting there, and it made it 3 in a row. And his lead was 2 shots once again. He gave one back at the par 4 12th, but showed his class with an immediate response at the next. So his ball striking's not where he's wanted it to be, but looks like he's getting back to the old John Catlin. 2 clear of Kristian Krogh Johannessen. Matisse Bessard was 4 under for his back 9 coming to the par 5 16th, and he was dead and buried for his 3rd shot and then produced this moment of magic. Trundling it all the way up to the pin, almost holding out for eagle. Brilliant from the Belgian. 5 birdies in 7 holes for Bessard. Catlin was in a bit of trouble at the last, found the greenside bunker, but hit the pin. Almost the greatest of escapes for the American. All smiles now with his caddy. And just a tap in for par for Catlin. A 69, and he takes the slenderest of leads with 18 to play.
While Yannick De Bruyne produced one of the rounds of the day, his 66 moved him up into 6th. One better on the day with a 65 was Kristian Krogh Johannessen, leaving our American leader clinging on to a slender advantage come Saturday night.
Wasn't my best, but I hung in there well, and I've got the lead going into tomorrow, and I can look myself in the mirror and say, honestly, that I've been here before and I could do it again. I know what I have to do, and I'm gonna go out and do my darndest to do it.
So, as Sunday dawned, the stage was set for a dramatic final day. Kristian Krogh Johannessen was looking for a first title since the Italian Challenge in 2022, whilst John Catlin was hoping to add the English Open to an impressive list of national titles on his CV.
Another American going well was Jared Hack, out in 32, and made a birdie here at the 10th, 5 under for the day, and into the top 5. Brilliant move made by Hack. There would have surely been a few nerves for Catlin at the start of the day, but they would have been extinguished with this birdie on the very first hole, just getting there with the final roll, and his lead was 2 shots. Completing the final 2-ball was Norwegian Kristian Krogh Johannessen. He found the green at the par 5 in 2. So this was for eagle. Just missed. With a tap-in birdie, Catlin also birdied, so the deficit remained 2 shots. Jared Hack was having a fantastic day. Just under the trees at 16, the par 5. What a touch from Hack. 8 under for the day and in a tie for second, but dropped a shot on 17. But it was still another top 5 finish after a superb Sunday 65. Catlin was 3 under and bogey free for his front 9, and the momentum continued on the par 5 10th. Another sublime touch from the American. 4 under now for the day. His playing partner wasn't going away. Another eagle effort for the Norwegian, just going by there. And Catlin almost going blow for blow, but at this point it was Catlin still with that 2-shot lead. 23-year-old Barclay Brown had made every single cut in the events he's played this season. Top 10s in Spain and Italy, and an eagle there on 16 helped him to a 3rd place finish after rounds of 65 and 67 over the weekend. After that birdie at 10, it was 4 pars in a row for Catlin, but he gave himself a chance at 15 after this approach to that back right pin. Pin high once again for the American. Plenty following this final 2-ball. And Catlin had a chance for a bit of breathing room at the top of the leaderboard, which he converted. That 2-shot lead once again for Catlin. But Kristian Krogh Johannessen wasn't done yet. He birdied 16, the par 5, and gave himself a huge opportunity for another with this approach at the penultimate hole. Hit high, about 12 feet left for birdie. Catlin could only watch on. This to get to 18 under par, which he did. And so there were 2 at the top with 1 to play. Both players found the green in 2 at the final hole, and it was Johannessen to go first. Long range effort for birdie. Fantastic effort, but it wasn't to be. 6 under par round of 66 for the Norwegian, and he could only watch and wait to see what Catlin did. So now it was John Catlin's turn for the birdie, and this was for the title. Oh, and it came up short. A weak effort really from Catlin, and he still had a little bit of work to do for his par. There were plenty watching on around the final green. In for par, and so John Catlin and Kristian Krogh Johannessen were heading to a playoff.
Jared Hack cut an impressive figure on Sunday, up 27 spots to tie 5th, following his 65. Having made the cut on the number, Barclay Brown's weekend golf elevated him into a tie for 3rd. Tom Lewis eventually finished in a tie for 12th, but for an American and a Norwegian, it was time to go head-to-head to settle it.
Johannessen had duffed his first effort from off the green for birdie at the second playoff hole, so this was for his 4, with Catlin leaving himself just a tap in for par. What a par save from Kristian Krogh Johannessen. An incredible 4. Keeping himself in with a shout. The 3rd and 4th playoff holes were tied, but Catlin had this chance to win it at the 5th extra hole. It looked all the world. That was heading into the centre of the cup. For the 6th playoff hole, they moved to the 9th, where Johannessen lipped out for birdie and the win. So it was attempt number 7. Johannessen had already missed his birdie chance, but Catlin had this for the title. Finally, after a mammoth 7-hole playoff, John Catlin is back in the winner's circle and picks up his maiden title on the HotelPlanner Tour.
Yeah, Kristian put it on me, and then he put it on me in the playoff as well. He made about a 20-footer for par on, I think it was the 2nd playoff hole, and we're getting in the cart, and he goes, "Sorry, man." I'm like, don't say sorry, it was a great putt. Anytime you're playing in a National Open, it's special, you know, and you look at the list of the guys that have won this tournament in previous years, and to have your name alongside theirs is truly, truly special. So yeah, this one's extra sweet, and you know, especially for me, you know, everything that I've been through in the last 2 years, just to get the win is really, really satisfying.
Jared Hack's fine Sunday performance was rewarded with a climb of 8 spots on the road to Mallorca rankings. Sunday's other big mover, Barclay Brown, also climbs 8 places and into the top 15. Our champion Catlin has made a huge impact and now sits just outside those DP World Tour promotion positions. And so another page has been written in a storied championship and another National Open title for Catlin to sit alongside those from Ireland, Austria, Thailand and Saudi Arabia. For Catlin and Co, a short hop over the English Channel lies in store next, and a fortnight in France. We'll see you then.